Hi guys, right now I am going to do a review of Superboy issue number 5 and Superboy issue number 6. Now I'm only going to mainly focus on issue number 6, but I will do, a brief review or summary of issue number 5 because a lot of things tend to happen in issue number 5. That kind of sort of confused me because there were just so many things that were going on and what was happening. And it was really hard and difficult for me to continue, keep reading because it was just like, wow, there's just so much going on. So my main focus in this review will be issue number 6, but like I said, I did not review issue number 5 for you guys, so I will do that for you guys right now because I'm not going to be lazy and just skip to issue number 6. You guys are my dedicated subscribers, and I'm going to be dedicated to you guys, okay? You guys are, there for me. You guys subscribe to me. You keep watching my videos, and, that makes me really happy. And I don't want to be lazy with these things. Also with my manga review. Now, yet again, this might sound a bit lazy, that I will move Fairy Tail to, this week's episode because seeing as I'm just going to make, another Fairy Tail, review or my thoughts on that chapter, I'll just put all 3 chapters together and, give you my thoughts on it. And then I'll do, Naruto and Reborn too for you guys. So, to start off, let's go with Superboy issue number 5. In issue number 5, like I said, there are a lot of things that happen in this issue. Now, let's start off that, now Dr. Fairchild has been, captured, and Dr. Umber, we've seen him in the last couple of issues. He has taken over, Overwatch for Superboy. So now he's in charge of Superboy. He's looking after him. And, Superboy is sort of working for Director Center Hall. So, Nowhere doesn't know that. But some things happen in this issue that changes Superboy's mind. So what happens is, since Dr. Umber is in charge of the, Superboy now, we also see something that happens with Dr. Templar or Mr. Templar. What happens is, he's in charge of, Nowhere and all. So what happens is we see when he gets really angry, he doesn't turn into Hulk. Okay, he doesn't turn into the Hulk. This is DC, but yeah, when he gets really angry or frustrated, these dark tentacle creature monster things comes out of his body, and he totally kills off all the doctors around Dr. Umber. He kills everybody in that room, massacres them, and he looks at Umber and he says, "You better not fail me," And then of course Dr. Umber is really pretty scared and shit. So he's all like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I won't fail you. I promise you, I won't fail you." And then that's what happens with between what's going on with Dr. Umber and Mr. Templar at the moment. Then we see Dr. Center Hall, not Dr. Center Hall, but Director Center Hall. He has captured Dr. Fairchild, and he's sending him to his facility. Now he has, I guess, a metahuman person with him. I don't know much about him, but his name is Baptist, and he's working with, Director Center Hall. So while he's working with him, we see, something happen while they're transferring her to their facility. We see someone, in black, but we all know this is Superboy. And Superboy destroys, Director Center Hall, basically killing him for releasing some kind of the energy in his suit, and it kills him. So Superboy, saves Dr. Fairchild, but we see something happen. He is working with someone else. He turned against Director Center Hall when he was working with him in the first place. So he turns against him. Now who is he working with? There's so many questions. Like I said, there's a lot of questions in this issue. So this person takes Dr. Fairchild away. But after that, he goes back, and Mr. Templar's a bit pissed because he thinks that, Superboy was the one who escaped and tried to save her. But of course, Superboy came back in time and whatnot, and after that, also Rose discovers a secret tape from Dr. Fairchild, or I forgot her first name. But yeah. So she finds a tape. She learns some information and stuff. And after that, we see the last couple issues of the 2 metahumans, the one with the, I guess, elastic ability and the girl with the fire ability, who's being taken care of by farmers, which is really questionable. Like I said, there's a lot of questions in this issue. Now, issue number 5, I sorta had a lot of questions. I was so confused because there's just so many things thrown at you. Director Central was killed by Superboy and he's working with someone else. You know, someone else has taken Dr. Fairchild. What's going to happen to her? And then we're thrown with, you know, these farmers helping out these two metahumans. We're like, what the F is going on here? What really is going on? What's wrong with Mr. Templar with his attitude? And he has these tentacle creatures coming out. What is this? Like, we have so many questions, and it's not really answered in issue number 6 here. So, let me put issue number 5 away. In issue number 6, you know, we see Supergirl appear in this issue. Now, this issue actually picks up after, you know, what happens in Teen Titans issue number 5. If you guys have not read issue number 5 of Teen Titans, I suggest you read it before you read this issue. It doesn't really matter if you don't, but it's a really great fight between Superboy and the Teen Titans. So, basically, it's just the same thing as how Teen Titans ended. So, Superboy has beaten all the Teen Titans, except for Solstice, and, you know, he has a talk with Solstice, like in issue number 5, and he headbutts her, and she knocks out with all the other Titans. And after that, he flies away, and his suit is pretty battered up. It's like really torn up and stuff like that. But we see something that's odd. I mean, we learn that his suit is able to regenerate itself, self-recover. So we're all like, okay, does this happen because of the suit, or does this happen because it's genetically, you know, made for, you know, Superboy, so it works with Superboy's abilities? We don't know, but his suit does recover, and it's, you know, all better. It's not torn and ripped anymore. And after that, we see, you know, a shot, and we see like a whole big panel full, you know, of Supergirl. She's there, and she stares at Superboy, and she's, you know, wondering, like, who are you? Are you part of the House of El? And Superboy doesn't understand her because she's speaking Kryptonian. Only she can speak Kryptonian. So I do not, you know, read Supergirl, so I don't know what's going on with her in this, you know, in that universe, or what she's doing in that series, but she's speaking Kryptonian, and she can't really talk to Superboy at first. But after that, she touches Superboy, and Superboy gets a flash of what happened on Krypton, the whole destruction of Krypton. And after that, he blasts her away with his psychic abilities or telekinesis, and, you know, she's like, why did you do that for? And then he tells her, like, oh, my abilities just, I don't know, I didn't know what you were doing, and like, these powers were given to me by nowhere. I'm a clone, you know, and he's speaking Kryptonian now because Supergirl touched him, so he's able to speak Kryptonian now. And after that, they have a big battle and fight because she's all like, you're Con-El, you're a clone, so, you know, I'm gonna fight you. So they start fighting and whatnot, and then we learn that on Krypton, they created clones, and they said probably the destruction of Krypton was because of these clones. So she's fighting against Superboy, and then we learned that Superman has told Supergirl that she should beware of Con-El, or Superboy. Now, that raises a question. How does Superman know about Con-El, or Superboy itself? But I don't read Superman, so I don't know what's really going on, so I can't really question that. Maybe it's going to be, you know, it's going to be explained in that issue, but I don't read it, so maybe it will be explained more when he meets Superman himself. But yeah, and then after that, we see Superboy finally turn against, you know, Mr. Templar, and he flies off and he tries to go stop him. But once he reaches, you know, nowhere, Rose is there to greet him, and she's pretty pissed. So Rose Wilson is going to fight against Superboy in the next issue. Now I am going to talk about why I like this issue a lot. This issue was great. Even though you see a lot of action, you know, or fight between Superboy and Supergirl, you learn a lot about Superboy. Because after he has beaten up all the Teen Titans, he feels bad. His conscience feels so horrible that when he was fighting against them, it was a challenge. But he felt bad for beating them up. He didn't want to. He felt, you know, guilty. And this is a sign that it's Superman's genes kicking in. He doesn't want to kill. He doesn't want to kill. He doesn't want to hurt people. He sort of does want to do good. And this builds Superboy's character more and more and more now. Because in the last couple of issues, we saw him become sort of like a dick. You know, he had no feelings. He has no remorse for anybody else. Even if he didn't show it a lot. But in this issue, he did. He felt bad for beating up the Teen Titans, and that's what made him change his mind and go against Nowhere. So now, as we see this, we probably will see Superboy start, you know, joining Teen Titans. Who knows? Because his thoughts and feelings towards Nowhere has changed, and he wants to fight against them. So we don't know when he's going to join the Teen Titans, but we know he will. So we don't know when this is happening, but it's sort of starting to, pick up the pace where he will start, joining them. And I love it. I love this issue. This issue was great. Unlike, issue number 5, where it raises a lot of questions, like what really is going on? Why is all this happening? In this issue, it's really clear, like, Con-El, we finally hear his name, Con-El, and Supergirl knows that he's a clone, could be from Krypton, we don't know, because they said that he was genetically created from, genes, from DNA, from Superman or Lex Luthor, who knows, but, his DNA was altered and he was created to be a clone, but we don't know if he's whether from Krypton or from Nowhere. Where is he from? Did Nowhere find Superboy and create him, or did they create him, genetically? Who knows? Who really knows? But it is pretty good. I really want to learn more about Superboy now after, hearing Supergirl's side of the story. Action scenes was great. Great storytelling right now. I love Superboy. This issue really just made me fall in love with Superboy even more now as we build his character. So that's pretty, pretty good, because we saw him, save a couple of civilians in the last issue. And now, he feels bad for hurting the Teen Titans. So he's becoming, more and more of a good superhero, Superboy, let's say. So yeah, that's my review and my thoughts on Superboy issue number 6 and issue number 5. I hope you enjoyed this double review for you guys, and I will be putting up my manga reviews tomorrow morning, or tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, thanks again for watching and, keeping it there with me, guys. So I'll talk to you guys later.